Hi students, this is Botany PSR. In the previous class, we discussed about heartwood and sapwood. That is, heartwood and sapwood means completion of intrastellar secondary growth. Now, in this class, we will discuss about extrastellar secondary growth. Extrastellar means the secondary growth that occurs outside the steel, that is so called extrastellar secondary growth. Outside the steel means which part? Cortex. That's why the extrastellar secondary growth is also called cortical secondary growth. How many steps it contain? One is periderm, second one lenticels, third one bark. These 3 points, these 3 steps we have to discuss today. Okay, right. Extrastellar secondary growth, also called cortical secondary growth. It occurs in 3 steps. One is periderm, second one lenticels, and third one bark. That is periderm, lenticels, finally bark. We have to say these 3 events in the correct sequence. So extrastellar secondary growth occurs in how many steps? 3 steps. That is A, periderm, B, lenticels, C, that is bark. So that is when secondary xylem, secondary phloem more and more are produced continuously. When secondary xylem, secondary phloem are produced more and more continuously due to the activity of vascular cambium, a pressure will be built up in cortex. Pressure will be built up in cortex. That is especially inner cortex. That is inner cortical parenchyma cells converts into a meristematic layer by dedifferentiation. And form a meristematic layer called cork cambium. Cork cambium is also called phellogen. So that is parenchyma cells of cortex undergo dedifferentiation and form a meristematic layer called cork cambium. This cork cambium is a couple of layers thickness. Couple of layers thick means 2 layers thick. So a meristematic layer is formed from inner cortex. That is parenchyma cells of inner cortex. So this is the cork cambium, also called phellogen. Cork cambium cells are narrow, thin-walled and rectangular cells. So cork cambium is this is one layer, this is another layer. So cork cambium is a couple of layers thick, that is 2 layers thick. This cork cambium cuts off new cells on both the sides. Cork cambium produces a tissue called cork towards outer side, and towards inner side secondary cortex is produced. So cork cambium produces 2 types of cells, 2 types of tissues, both towards outer side and towards inner side. The tissue that is produced from cork cambium towards outer side is called cork. The cork cambium produces a tissue towards inner side is called secondary cortex. Secondary cortex is also called phelloderm. Cork is also called phellum. So that is this cork is formed from cork cambium by a process called redifferentiation, RD. Secondary cortex is formed from cork cambium by a process called redifferentiation, that is RD. But cork cambium is formed from inner cortex by DD, dedifferentiation. These points you have to remember. So this cork is formed from cork cambium by RD. Secondary cortex is formed from cork cambium by RD. RD means redifferentiation. So that means cork cambium cells undergo periclinal divisions, and produces new cells both towards outer side and towards inner side. Cork cambium cuts off new cells both towards outer side and towards inner side. The tissue that is produced towards outer side is called cork tissue. The tissue that is produced towards inner side is called secondary cortex. Now we have to learn other terms. Cork cambium is also called phellogen. Cork is also called phellum. Secondary cortex is called phellodome. These three layers together called periderm. This periderm is useful for protection. So that is secondary protective layer. That is secondary protective layer means the protective layer that is formed during secondary growth is called secondary protective layer. Normally, what is the protective layer? Epidermis. Secondary protective layer means periderm. Number of kinds of tissues in periderm: phellum, phellogen, phellodome. Outer to inner: phellum, phellogen, phellodome. Outer to inner means centripetal. If centrifugal they are asked means phellodome, phellogen, phellum. Like that you have to say. Centripetal means towards center. Centrifugal means towards periphery. Towards periphery means phellodome, phellogen, phellum. Right. What are the differences or what are the characteristics of cork? Cork tissue also called phellum. Cork tissue or phellum is formed from cork cambium by redifferentiation, RD. Outermost layer of periderm is cork. Innermost layer of periderm is secondary cortex. Okay. Outer layer of periderm is phellum. Inner layer of periderm is phellodome. Cork is formed from cork cambium by RD. Phellodome is formed from cork cambium by RD. RD means redifferentiation. Cork cells are rectangular cells. Phellodome or secondary cortex cells are oval or spherical shaped cells. In cork tissue, intercellular spaces are absent, whereas in secondary cortex, intercellular spaces are present. Cork tissue does not contain chloroplasts. Secondary cortex contain chloroplasts. As chloroplasts are present means these secondary cortex useful for photosynthesis or assimilation of food materials. Whereas cork tissue is useful for mechanical strength. Cork tissue is useful for mechanical strength. Secondary cortex is useful for assimilation of food materials or photosynthesis. Here the cork tissue cell wall is made up of suberin, suberized dead cells. These are dead cells. These are living cells. Why? Because the cell with protoplasm is called living cell. The cell without protoplasm is called dead cell. So the cork tissue, cork cells are dead cells. Secondary cortex cells are living cells. Living cell means cell with protoplasm. Dead cell means cell without protoplasm. This cork has commercial value. Which tissue has commercial value? That is cork. This commercial cork is obtained from oak tree. Oak tree scientific name is Quercus sober. Commercial cork is obtained from Quercus sober. Common name is oak tree. So that is outer layer of periderm is cork. Inner layer of periderm is phellodome. Cork is formed from cork cambium by redifferentiation. Secondary cortex is formed from cork cambium by RD. redifferentiation. Which one is a dead tissue? Cork tissue is a dead tissue, whereas secondary cortex is a living tissue. What is a dead cell? Cell without protoplasm, without cytoplasm, without nucleus is called dead cell. Secondary cortex cells are living cells. What is a living cell? Cell with protoplasm. This cork tissue is compressible, resilient, and has thermal insulation. Compressible means compressed. Resilient means it again comes back to its original shape, resilient. It has thermal insulation. Thermal insulation. So these are the characteristics of periderm. So of these three layers, first formed layer is phellogen. Phellogen is formed from cortex. Outer cortex or inner cortex? Inner cortex. Cork cambium, phellogen is a couple of layers thick, 2 layers thick, while vascular cambium is a single layer thickness. Vascular cambium is 1 layered thickness. Cork cambium is a 2 layers thickness. Vascular cambium and cork cambium both are meristematic layers. Intrastellar secondary growth means formation of vascular cambium. Extrastellar secondary growth means formation of cork cambium. Cork cambium is also called phellogen. How many kinds of layers do you find in periderm? Phellum, phellogen, phelloderm. Okay. Now look at here, my dear students. Periderm is formed during extrastellar secondary growth. Don't say intrastellar secondary growth. It is extrastellar secondary growth. Periderm contains 3 parts: phellogen, phellum, phelloderm. Phellogen also called cork cambium. Phellum is also called cork. Phelloderm is also called secondary cortex. Those 3 layers we have to say in the correct sequence. Right, one by one. Phellogen also called cork cambium. It is formed from cortex cells. That is inner cortex. Don't say outer cortex. It is formed as a result of dedifferentiation. Overall dedifferentiation tissues are, that is one, interfascicular cambium, second one, cork cambium. These 2 tissues are formed as a result of DD, that is dedifferentiation. It is a couple of layers thick. It is a couple of layers thick. Phellogen is a couple of layers thick. Cells of cork cambium cuts off new cells on both the sides. Cells of cork cambium undergo periclinal divisions and produce cork towards outer side and secondary cortex towards inner side. Next, phellum. Phellum is also called cork. It is formed from phellogen by redifferentiation. Redifferentiation is simply called RD. Next, outer layer of periderm is phellum. Cells are rectangular shape. These are dead cells with suberin. Suberized dead cells found in cork. Very, very important point. Suberized dead cells. Dead cells with suberin. What is a dead cell? Without protoplasm. Suberized dead cells found in, that is phellum, that is cork. Chloroplast absent. Intercellular spaces absent. It is impervious to water and gases. Impervious to water and gases. Why? Because of deposition of suberin in cell walls. Due to deposition of suberin cell walls, this cork tissue is compressible, resilient. Resilient means it again comes back to its original shape. Lightweight and thermal insulation. Conductors means, that is passing heat. Not able to pass heat means insulation, insulators. Right? It has thermal insulation. It does not conduct heat. Next, commercial cork is obtained from Quercus sober, commonly called oak tree. Next, phelloderm, also called secondary cortex. This phylloderm is formed from phyllogen by redifferentiation, shortly called as RD. It is inner layer of periderm. Inner layer of periderm is phylloderm. Outer layer of periderm is cork or phellum. Next, cells are oval shape or spherical shape. These are living cells. What are living cells? With protoplasm. Living cell means with protoplasm. What is a dead cell? With a cell without protoplasm is called dead cell. Cork is a dead cell. That is, cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke. That cell was first discovered means cork tissue he observed. That cork tissue is a dead cell. So cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Dead cell discovered by Robert Hooke. Living cell discovered by, living cell means here bacteria. So living cell or bacteria first discovered by Anthony von Leeuwenhoek. Anthony von Leeuwenhoek. 3 points. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Dead cell discovered by Robert Hooke. Living cell discovered by, living cell or bacteria discovered by Anthony von Leeuwenhoek. Next, cells are oval or spherical shape. These are living cells, that is with protoplasm. Intercellular spaces present. Intercellular spaces present. So this is all about periderm. Outer layer of periderm is cork. Inner layer of periderm is secondary cortex, also called phylloderm. So the layers are, how many kinds of layers in periderm? 3 kinds of layers. Outer to inner, phellum, phyllogen, phylloderm. Like that you have to say. Okay. Of these 3 layers, which one is a dead tissue? Dead tissue means cork tissue is a dead tissue. Remaining 2 layers are living tissues. Next, second step, lenticels. Second step is lenticels. So let's see the diagram. This is the phyllogen. Here also the phyllogen means this phyllogen produces cork towards outer side. If all the cork is produced towards outer side means it is impervious to water and gases. So here and there, why the cork tissue is impervious to water and gases? Because cork cells are made up of suberin. As suberin is present in cork tissue, that cork tissue is impermeable to water and gases. That is, water and gases do not allow into the plant body, into the inner tissues. That's why here and there, instead of cork tissue, this phyllogen produces loose mass of parenchyma cells. Loose mass of parenchyma cells are produced from phyllogen instead of cork. Those loose mass of parenchyma cells are so called complementary cells. What are complementary cells means? Loose mass of parenchyma cells are called complementary cells. These are the complementary cells. These complementary cells are formed from phyllogen instead of cork. That is very, very important. Complementary cells are formed from phyllogen instead of cork tissue. Instead of cork. If entire cork is produced means that is water and gases do not allow into the inner tissues of the plant body. That's why here and there, instead of cork tissue, loose mass of parenchyma cells are produced. And whenever these loose mass of parenchyma cells are produced means upper layer called epidermis may be ruptured. This is the epidermis. Ruptured epidermis. This is ruptured epidermis. An opening is present. When epidermis is ruptured means an opening is present. This opening is so called lenticel. This shape is so called lens shape. Lenticels are dash shape. Lenticels are lens shape. The specialized cells in lenticels are called complementary cells. These complementary cells are formed from phellogen by RD, redifferentiation, instead of cork tissue. Very, very important. Where do you find complementary cells? In lenticels. Lenticels are dash shape, lens shape. Complementary cells are formed from phellogen instead of cork. Right. Now look at here, my dear students. Lenticels are lens shape. Complementary cells are formed from phellogen instead of cork. Specialized cells found in lenticels are called complementary cells. These are found in woody trees. Why? Because when there is the occurrence of secondary growth means these lenticels are formed. When there is no secondary growth means lenticels are found. So where do you find lenticels or secondary growth? That is stems and roots of gymnosperms and dicots. So in monocots, secondary growth is not found. That's why lenticels are not found in monocots. Secondary growth occurs in stems and the roots of gymnosperms and dicots. Secondary growth first found in gymnosperms. Secondary growth first found in gymnosperms. Whenever the secondary growth occurs means lenticels are formed. This lenticels is a part of secondary growth. Which secondary growth? Extrastellar secondary growth. Okay. So when secondary growth occurring means lenticels are formed. When there is no secondary growth means no lenticels are found. So that is lenticels are found in woody trees, that is gymnosperms and dicots. Lenticels are not found in monocots. Functions of lenticels. These are useful for exchange of gases. That is the main function. So gases exchange or exchange of gases is the main function of lenticels. Main function. Other function also it is useful for transpiration. So the transpiration that occurs by lenticels is called lenticular transpiration. Total how many types of transpirations are there? 3 types. The transpiration that occurs by stomata is called stomatal transpiration. The transpiration that occurs by cuticle is called cuticular transpiration. The transpiration that occurs by lenticels is called lenticular transpiration. Majority of transpiration occurs by stomata. Least transpiration occurs by lenticels. That is how much means 1 to 2% of total transpiration. 1 to 2% of total transpiration occurs by lenticular transpiration. Highest transpiration is by stomatal transpiration. Second highest cuticle. Least lenticels. So functions of lenticels means that is gases exchange or exchange of gases. Third one, transpiration. Main function of lenticels means, if the question is main function of lenticels means, you have to say gases exchange only. Did you understand? Right. The specialized cells found in lenticels are called complementary cells. What are complementary cells? The loose mass of parenchyma cells in lenticels are called complementary cells. Complementary cells are formed from phellogen. Complementary cells are formed from phellogen instead of cork. So phellogen is also called cork cambium. So that is about lenticels. And the third concept is bark. Bark. The tissues present exterior to vascular cambium together called bark. So that is the tissues that are present external to vascular cambium, exterior to vascular cambium, outer to vascular cambium together called bark. Don't say bast, it is bark. It is a non-technical term called bark. A non-technical term called bark. So what is a bark? The tissues present external to vascular cambium, exterior to vascular cambium or outer to vascular cambium together called bark. that is do not take the vascular cambium. Exterior to vascular cambium, no, so that is do not take the vascular cambium. So above the vascular cambium, secondary phloem is present. Above the secondary phloem, primary phloem is present if it is not crushed. Above the primary phloem, pericycle. Above the pericycle, endodermis. Above the endodermis means that is cortex. Above the cortex, hypodermis. Above the hypodermis means epidermis. Okay, in that cortex, secondary growth occurs means periderm is formed. So that is secondary phloem. If all the layers are not disappear, not disintegrated means secondary, that is outer to vascular cambium. Secondary phloem, primary phloem, pericycle, endodermis, cortex means secondary growth occurs means phelloderm, phellogen, phellum. This is the order. If some layers are disintegrated, no, that means pericycle disintegrated, endodermis disintegrated, hypodermis disintegrated, epidermis disintegrated. So that is the tissues that are present external to vascular cambium. Means the generally present tissues are secondary phloem and periderm. Periderm means 3 layers, no, phelloderm, phellogen, phellum. So that is bark is equal to secondary phloem plus periderm. Secondary phloem plus periderm. So bark contains many number of tissues, many kinds of tissues. If some layers are disintegrated means only these 2 kinds of tissues are present. So that is secondary phloem plus periderm, or bark is equal to bast plus periderm. Bast plus periderm. Secondary phloem, phelloderm, phellogen, phellum. Outermost layer of periderm is phellum. Outermost layer of bark is phellum. True. Innermost layer of periderm is innermost layer of bark. False. Innermost layer of periderm is phelloderm. Innermost layer of bark is secondary phloem. Did you understand? Outer layer of periderm is phellum. Outer layer of bark is phellum. Okay. Inner layer of periderm is phelloderm. Inner layer of bark is secondary phloem. Don't say phelloderm. Okay. Right. The tissues of bark from outer to inner: phellum, phellogen, phelloderm, secondary phloem. From outer to inner: phellum, phellogen, phelloderm, secondary phloem. Phellum is also called cork. Phellogen is also called cork cambium. Phelloderm is also called secondary cortex. Secondary phloem is also called bast. So cork is a dead component, dead tissue, whereas phellogen, phelloderm, secondary phloem, these 3 are living tissues. So number of dead components means number of dead components in bark is 1, that is phellum. Number of living components in bark is 3. So these 3 layers together called periderm. Outermost layer of periderm is phellum. Outermost layer of bark is phellum. So that is outermost layer of periderm is the outermost layer of bark. True. Innermost layer of periderm is phelloderm. Innermost layer of bark is secondary phloem. So that is innermost layer of periderm is the innermost layer of bark. False. Okay. Number of dead components in bark 1. Number of dead components in bark 3. This phellum is formed from cork cambium. Phelloderm is formed from cork cambium. Secondary phloem is formed from vascular cambium, but not a cork cambium. Secondary phloem, also called bast, is formed from Vascular cambium. Vascular cambium produces secondary phloem towards outer side, secondary xylem towards inner side. So that is phellum is formed from cork cambium. Phellodum is formed from cork cambium. Secondary phloem is formed from, that is vascular cambium. That is the bark contains the products of both cork cambium and vascular cambium. True. The vascular cambium product found in bark is secondary phloem. The product of vascular cambium found in bark is secondary phloem. The products of cork cambium found in bark is phellum, phellodum. That means this bark contains the products of both vascular cambium and cork cambium. True. Phellum from cork cambium, phellodum from cork cambium. But secondary phloem is formed from vascular cambium. So bark contains the tissues of both vascular cambium and cork cambium. That one you have to remember. Phellogen is formed by dedifferentiation. Phellum and phellodum are formed from cork cambium by redifferentiation. Secondary phloem is formed from vascular cambium. This secondary phloem is formed from vascular cambium by redifferentiation. Overall redifferentiation tissues are secondary xylem and secondary phloem, and phellum and phellodum, total 4. The products of RD, secondary xylem, secondary phloem, phellum, phellodum, total 4 are the products of RD. Products of DD, dedifferentiation means intervascular cambium and cork cambium. Right. This bark is of 2 types, soft bark or early bark. Second one, hard bark or late bark. So the bark that is formed early in the season is called soft bark or early bark. The bark that is formed at the end of the season is called hard bark or late bark. So this is all about extrastellar secondary growth. So that means extrastellar secondary growth occurs in how many steps? 3 steps. Periderm, lenticels, bark. Formation of cork cambium. Formation of cork cambium is extrastellar. Don't say intrastellar. Formation of vascular cambium is intrastellar. Don't say extrastellar. Formation of vascular cambium is a intrastellar secondary growth. Formation of cork cambium is a extrastellar secondary growth. So formation of vascular cambium during intrastellar, don't say extrastellar. Formation of cork cambium during extrastellar secondary growth, don't say intrastellar secondary growth. Do you understand, my dear students? I hope you understood this matter. So this is all about secondary growth in dicot stem. So before intrastellar secondary growth and then extrastellar secondary growth. When more and more secondary xylem and secondary phloem are produced, more and more means a pressure build up in cortex. The layers that are present outer to cortex are going to be degenerate later. In that cortex, a meristematic layer is formed which is so called cork cambium. Cork cambium is formed from inner cortex. Vascular cambium in dicot stem is formed from, that is, intervascular cambium and intravascular cambium. In dicot stem, vascular cambium is formed by fusion of both intravascular cambium and intervascular cambium. In dicot stem, cork cambium is formed from cortex. Cork cambium is formed from cortex. Cortex means inner cortex. Don't say outer cortex. So this is all about extracellular secondary growth. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about secondary growth in dicot root. In the next class, we will discuss about secondary growth in dicot root. I hope you understood. I hope you understand this matter, and we will meet in the next class.